Hi, Ann with Luke's Sewing Center, here to talk about today's project for the 12 Days of Christmas Sewing Project. This project today will be the infinity scarf with a pocket sewn in with a zipper. Okay, let's talk about our supplies for the infinity scarf with a zipper pocket. First of all, you'll get your fabric, which you'll want to use a knit. You only need a yard, and we take our yard, you can leave it folded in half as it is, and with your selvage down on this side. You'll need your fabric for your pocket. This size pocket for mine that I'm demonstrating is 6 by 10, which will end up being folded in half. It shows you how little fabric you need for that. And then you need a zipper. Since my width is only 6 inches, I have a larger zipper, but I'll cut that down, and you can do the same for yours. Inside, when we secure the zipper along the knit, you'll need some SF101 interfacing to line the edges right here before we install the zipper. Okay, now I'll discuss the position of the zipper and the pocket. First, what you want to do is go along the selvage edge of your fabric and pin it. When you get up towards the end where the zipper and pocket will be, you leave that open. You'll see I have this folded back to demonstrate that, because I want to show you inside how I've positioned the pocket. I folded it in half. The raw edge is along the selvage. The folded edge is underneath the first layer. I'm going to fold that back again so you can see that. You leave the other side of the pocket against the bottom fabric, and then you can fold them both together. Lay your zipper against the selvage edge like this, but when you sew it, you want to be sure to sew just the one side of the pocket. And then before you even do this step, you want to take your pocket and sew along each of these edges, leaving about 1 inch from the top open. Then you're ready to stitch the zipper on as I demonstrated. All right, so you've seen I've sewn my pockets, 1/4 inch seams on each side. I'm putting it back into the fold of the fabric. I have this little lip, I'll call it. I'm going to fold over the top so that it lays on top of that pocket top. I'm going to take my zipper, put it face down along here. I am going to put in a few pins, being sure not to connect it to this bottom part of the pocket, because that'll go on the bottom part of the scarf fabric. Now I'll go back over to my machine and sew that zipper on. All right, I've sewn the first side of the zipper on, and as you remember with any seam, you always sew right sides together. Well, now we have this interior of the pocket to be sewn to this side of the zipper. The way we will achieve that is we need to turn our fabric inside out. So let's just do that. Like that. And now I will take the other side of the pocket, line it up to the second edge of the zipper, take my knit fabric, line the right side to the right side of the zipper. This will be our new seam that will create the entire pocket, and we'll sew our seam right here. So I'm using my narrow zipper foot with my needle in the center position. This side will line up next to the zipper part, and we'll just do our final seam. All right, I finished sewing on the other side of the zipper to the fabric and pocket. I'm going to turn my fabric right side out again. And now you can see where all my pins are. This will become our seam. But now we have our zipper in here. The only thing left to do on the zipper is we need to cut it where the pocket begins and ends. Before you cut it, let me give you this warning. Move your zipper tab down so that it is where you see it in the pocket. And then go ahead and, like this, I have excess zipper here. I'll cut it here and I'll cut it here. The one step before doing our final seam will be to make sure you stitch across the end and the beginning of your zipper, because they no longer have zipper stops on there. So be sure to do that before you do that final seam. All right, I'm sitting at my Elna Air 864 serger, which is great because it has the automatic threader for the loopers. I want to mention that you do need to leave an opening when you're doing this last seam, because you'll need to pull it right side out at the end. And then depending on how you are about finishing that, I will use the machine and do a top stitch because I don't do hand sewing. But those of you that like hand sewing, feel free to do that on the final stitch. All right, I'm going to do this seam. I'll meet you back at the end. But what's nice about the serger as well is it has a cutter on it that will cut my seams as I go. And as you know, using a serger works perfectly with knits. See you at the other end. All right, so I've serged the long seam, and now we need to get both ends sewn. So what we do is bring our right sides together, which means it's like a tunnel. We'll wrap it around and bring the one fabric up to the other like this. So you'll have a loop, and then you'll leave an opening so that you can turn this right side out when you're done. And then you can either top stitch that opening or hand stitch it to enclose the whole scarf. So here's my final infinity scarf, and an idea that's great for any Christmas gift.